Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also share with a friend. Everything that I use in this video will be listed down below. And also please don't forget to follow me on my social media so you don't miss whenever I post a video. And for my transition color, I'm going in with this pink shade from the NYX Off Tropic palette. I'm using the Hasta Vista one, and I'm going to build that color up until I'm satisfied with the way it is. To blend my eyeshadows, I like to go in with circular motions as well as some windshield wiping motions. I'm a perfectionist, so I have to make sure that everything gets completely blended before moving on. And I'm just adding as much as possible so that it can show through, but not too much, because again, this is a transition shade. You can have it a little bolder if you want, but for me, I didn't want it as bold. And when I'm blending, I'm mainly focusing on the outer edges because I don't want them to be as harsh. I want to make sure that those are 100% blended so that everything can flow together. And I'm still blending as well as still building that color up. I want it to show through just a little bit more, but not too much. And now I'm just showing you what that palette looks like, as well as the shade that I used. Now I'm going to go in with the Milani. This one is the Gilded Jewel. And I'm going to use this blue shade, as well as this greenish shade. And I'm tapping in that blue color to the outer corner. And I'm just stamping it into place where I want it to be before blending it out. I want it to really show through, so I'm really going to pack this color on and then just blend out those edges so it's not harsh. And I'm blending that blue shade up into the transition color because I want everything to flow nice and smooth. I don't want any harsh lines, and I don't want to go too far up, so I'm just blending it upward versus going straight on top and then blending it down. You also can add the blue shade first and then go in with your transition color. It's totally up to you. I will show you that technique as well in another video. And I know it may look like I'm going to be using the same brushes, but you want to make sure that you're using two different brushes to blend those shades together. Just like I'm doing here, I'm just going to be going back and forth, making sure that everything is blended. And I don't want my transition shade to be hidden, so I'm really making sure I take my time when doing this. You just want to keep blending until you're satisfied with the way that everything looks. I'm satisfied with this side, so now I'm going to move on to the other side, repeating the same steps. First things first, I'm just adding that blue shade to the outer corner, tapping everything into place. And you want to build that blue shade up before blending it out, but it just depends on how much product is on the brush. Again, you want to blend that into the transition shade and make sure that you're blending it enough that everything flows together, but not too much that you completely cover the transition color. And then you're just going to keep blending until you're satisfied with everything. And don't forget to keep switching back and forth between both brushes and both shades to make sure that everything is nicely blended. You also can get a 100% clean brush and make sure that those two colors blend together. But It all depends on if you want to clean extra brushes at the end, which I don't, so I choose to just go ahead and use 2 different brushes. I will link a video up in the iCards of me doing a look that completely matches my outfit. So if you want to see that, once the video is done, just click on the iCards and it'll take you directly to it. And again, I am a perfectionist, so I have to make sure that everything is completely blended before moving on to anything else. And I'm going in with that green shade and I'm building that color up. And with the Milani palette, what I've learned is that this shade, this is my first time using this palette, that the shades in here are a bit chalky, excuse me. So you want to build it up as well as blend it, but you don't want to blend too much to the point that most of that product disappear, because again, it is chalky. But I love the colors in this palette, so I will continue to use it and give it a try until I'm satisfied with everything. But as you can see, I'm building that color up as well as blending it out. Now I'm going back in with that blue shade to make sure that those are nicely blended together. And you also, again, can go in with a clean brush that has no product on there at all. I'm just going in with the 2 that I have. And I'm still building up that green shade as well as blending it out, because again, I like my stuff to flow together and seem more seamless. And I have 3 different NYX glitter pigments, and I was debating on which one I wanted to use, but that lighter one was standing out more to me, so that's the one that I chose. This shade is called Insomnia. I love this color. And I just added a little bit of the NYX Glitter Primer on the back of my hand, and I'm just applying that into the inner corner. And then I'm going to go ahead and, once I'm satisfied with the placement, I'm going to go ahead and add my glitter. But I didn't want this color to be too bold, but bold enough. And right now I'm satisfied with the placement, so I'm going to go ahead and just blend that out a little bit, and then I'm going to move on to the other side. And I'm going to just pack that color right on top of that glitter and really build it up to the point that I like it. And then I'm going to go in and blend that out even more with the other green shade. But as you can see how this color flows with the whole entire look, once everything is completely blended, you'll really be able to tell the difference. And now I'm just going in with another brush because I really want that green to stand out even more. So I'm just going in with a flatter brush to really pack that color on. And you can leave it like that, or you can be like me and be a little extra and pack on a little more color. But I like my colors to be nice and bold, so I wanted to add a little more so it really can show through. And now I'm going in with that other green shade, and I'm just going to blend those two shades together. And I went ahead and added a little bit of the glitter from this palette. Everything again that I use will be listed down below. And I added another shade so everything can really blend together, because again I did not want any harsh lines. And I'm really focusing on blending those two together so I don't get any harsh lines in the center. And again, you want to make sure you do this for each color because you want everything to flow. I cannot stress this enough. Blend, blend, blend. Now I'm going in with my liner plus glue. I like to add this as close to my lashes as I possibly can. And I like to add a thin layer at a time And you want to kind of move fast when adding this product because it dries down pretty quick. And you want to make sure that you also add a little bit onto your lashes, not your real lashes, but the extensions, before placing it on your eye. This will also help it stick even better. And again, everything that I use will be listed down below. The lashes that I'm using is by Pinky Gold. This one is called Jamila, as well as the glue is also called Pinky Gold. And while putting on my lashes, I realized that I missed a little spot over here, so I'm just adding a little more product. Now I'm going to repeat the same steps. Let's just add on a little bit of liner. You also can add on regular liner after you put on your lashes. I just choose not to because this do the job by itself. And if you want, you can add on mascara before putting on your lashes. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but I prefer not to put any on because I notice whenever I put on mascara before putting on my lashes, when I go to add the liner, it'd be hard for me to get a straight line. And now I'm going in with some primer. I'm using the Fenty Beauty Soft Silk Primer. I love this primer. Sometimes I use it before adding on my makeup, and sometimes I use it just by itself when I'm just doing stuff around the house or just going outside. I love this because it gives me that moisturizer feel. Now I'm going in with my Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation, and I'm going to add it on one side only, and a little goes a long way with this product. It is medium to full coverage, so if you need to build it up, you can build it up. And I like to blend this out, so I like to blend in sections, so I'm doing stamping motions as well as like swiping it down a little bit and then going back over with stamping. But I like to do one side of my face first before moving on to the other side because I want to make sure that I get everything nice and covered. Only how I would do both sides at a time is if I'm in a rush. And y'all, I was kind of nervous because I thought I ran out and I didn't have the newer one around me at the time. So I thought it was finished, but it's almost finished, but a good thing I have a backup. But I love the way that this foundation gives me that nice coverage. And if you can see, like, I know my forehead is not showing completely, but if you look at my forehead and look at my face, this foundation matches my skin perfect. And then whatever product is remaining on the brush, which is barely anything, that is what I use on my nose because I don't like to put a lot of product on my nose. My nose is where I get the oiliest first and the most. You also can apply your makeup and blend it out with a sponge, but just keep in mind a sponge soaks up product. So if you're a person like me who wants the coverage, go ahead and use a brush and you'll get the coverage that you want. But if you're a person who either way it goes, this foundation is very lightweight, so it does not feel heavy on the skin. I do not like heavy makeup. That's why every time you see me apply my makeup, even if it looked like I'm adding on a lot, I'm really not at all because I don't like to feel anything on my face. And now I'm going to apply some concealer. I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Deep. I like using this concealer because it's full coverage concealer, as well as it's light enough but not too bright. I don't like a really bright under eye, and it's just perfect for highlighting. And I like to use a little bit at a time. It may seem like I'm adding a lot, but I'm not. And I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out. The longer you let concealer sit underneath your eyes, the more full coverage it'll be. Just keep that in mind. So if you have a sheer concealer, you might have to build it up a little bit, but let it sit for like 1 to 2 minutes and then blend it out. And it'll give you a more full coverage look. And if you want, you can use a damp beauty blender to soak up some of that product. And lately I've been loving the blending out the highlight on my nose with my finger. So that's what I've been doing. And I just tap it into place, going back and forth. Now I'm just taking my brush and I'm going to be blending out underneath my eyes. And I was on TikTok live, but I'm responding to people's questions about certain products and stuff. But look at how the coverage that it gives. I probably should have did one eye at a time so y'all really could see the difference. And for me, I like to add a little bit of foundation underneath my eyes. Some people, don't like that because they don't like a lot of product being under their eyes. For me, it doesn't do much because both products I use a little at a time. And I could have went a little lighter with the concealer, but again, I don't like a really bright under eye, so I just leave it like this. And I'm just making sure that this is completely blended out before going in with any pressed or setting powder. And now I'm going in with the bronzer, and I like to use the Fenty Beauty, and this is Mocha Mami. A little goes a long way. This is very pigmented, but I love this product. This is what I use for my contour because I have yet to find a contour shade that matches me completely. Every time I come in contact with one, they all look exactly like my skin tone, so I just stick with what I have. And now I'm just taking some pressed powder and putting it under my eyes just to set that into place. And before I did that, I did go ahead and blend out that concealer just a little bit so I can make sure that I'm not setting any creasing. And guys, creasing is normal. You're gonna get creasing regardless, but you don't want to purposely set concealer that set into the lines. And now I'm going in with a little bit of translucent powder just to brighten it up just a little bit, as well as set it a little bit more. This part is optional, but I also like to add some underneath the contour just to clean up that line a little bit. And a little bit of this goes a long way, but as you can see, leaving it exactly how it was the first time wasn't as bad, but I don't add a lot of product, so it works out for me. I don't do this often, but any place that you place any foundation or concealer, you need to set it with a translucent powder or pressed powder. That way you don't get oily throughout the day and your makeup will last longer. And I like to blend that powder out right away because I have dry skin, so I don't like to bake or anything. And I'm spraying my face with the MAC Prep and Prime. This one is called Pinklite, and this will help my makeup really set in. And I like to do this before adding anything else to my face. And I'm going back in with that blue shade just to add some color to the lower lashes, or lash line, excuse me. And this is the night that I ended up doing a tour. So this is the end of the video. Hope you all like it. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also follow me on all of my